Good morning, everyone. Today is maintenance day. I want to clean the pre-filter, but I also want to do a little bit of editing in here, maybe a little maintenance too. I've got to start by removing those red root floaters so I can get in there to kind of see what's going on. It looks cloudy on here, but I think that it's because the window is opening and the glare is coming in. And don't mind the boo-boo on my finger. It was not aquarium related. So let's get started. That makes it much easier to see in there now. So the first thing I'm noticing is I've got a little bit of green dust algae forming on the glass that I need to get kind of scraped off. The ground cover here is a bunch of different mosses. I know this is breaking the rules and no one really does this, but I think it's been a really cool experiment. It does need a little bit of trimming. I'm gonna push it back down, kind of get everything tight, if you will, and then I can see that hydrocotyl is going crazy. I'm gonna have to do a lot of trimming on that so I can get in and kind of see what the other ground covers are doing. There's Monte Carlo in there, there's some Cryptparvas, there's a couple of 𝗙់𝗹𝗹𝗪 popped around, so I'll take it one step at a time, go slow, and then we'll see what it comes out looking like when it's all done. I see a little bit of algae growing on that outlet I need to take care of too. All right, let's get started. So for today's video, I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I normally do. I've got my setup ready. I've got all my tools. I've got my scraper, my scissors, I've got my pincettes, I've got my towels, I've got a little bucket for debris. But what I need to do first is I'm going to reach over here and shut off the filter and the heater. And like I said, I normally don't do this, but this is the greatest thing I've ever found. It's one of these power strips that has each individual socket is able to be shut off with a switch. Makes my life so much easier trying to unplug with one hand. Set. Now I'm actually going to remove these inlet and outlet so I'll have more space so I can really get in there and see what's going on. I can scrape a lot better, and hopefully I'll be able to film this correctly. Well, I finally finished. I took out a whole bunch of the hydrocoral Japan, left more space on the bottom for more of the moss to kind of cover up. I think it looks a lot cleaner now. The 𝗙់𝗹𝗹𝗀s didn't really need to be trimmed in the back yet. I'm assuming that maybe sometime in the future I will have to kind of top it off a little bit. But right now it's staying pretty low, so I'm okay with that. Little debacle I had, I knocked off a couple of those pads off this tree, so I had to re-glue those. That was fun. But I think it's going to be pretty clear here in just a little bit. I'll try to get you some B-roll. And we'll watch the fish and the shrimp enjoy their nice little clean edited tank.